The business of fake news came under more intense scrutiny this week after false stories about what was going on at a pizza restaurant in Washington, D.C. Authorities say those reports prompted a man to attack the restaurant. The incident led us to take a closer look at the fake news phenomenon, its impact, and what's behind it. Jacob Soboroff has our report.
With fake news making real news headlines this week, Secretary Clinton calling it an epidemic, the pizzeria attack in Washington, the obvious question is, why do so many people turn to phony news sources? One answer to that question can be found in newsrooms like ours all across the country. This fall, Gallup said Americans' trust in mainstream media sources is at an all-time low. Distrust in media has emboldened fake news creators like Californian Justin Kohler. This is your biggest election clicker. FBI agent suspected in Hillary email leaks found dead in apparent murder-suicide. Read that one.
The motive behind the killing is still being investigated, but police say Brown was a highly respected agent with the FBI.
Is any of that true?
Not a single thing.
Not a single thing.
Totally fiction.
In the days before the election, over 500,000 people on Facebook shared the post by Kohler, who says he voted for Clinton. 1.6 million people saw it on his website. Like, how much money did this post make you?
Likely somewhere around about $8,000.
Is it worth it?
This is one that I would probably take back.
What's the role of the fake news media in a democracy?
I'd like to think that it helps keep the real media honest.
That's a claim that can't be fact-checked.
Hello and welcome to Planet Money. I'm Robert Smith.
And I'm Laura Seidel.
Okay, Laura, we picked one fake news story. Give us the headline.
FBI agent suspected in Hillary email leaks found dead in apparent murder-suicide.
This article is amazing. It has a complicated, dark plot about how one of the FBI investigators looking into the Clinton email scandal dies under mysterious circumstances. There are names and dates and locations. It's a murder. It's a suicide. I mean, the facts don't matter because, of course, it's all made up. It's all fake. But it looks so professional. There's this big photo of a giant fireball. Looks legit. And it's on a site called The Denver Guardian, which looks real. It has weather and local stories. Someone has put a lot of time into this.
My name is Justin Kohler, and I'm the owner of Disinfo Media, Inc.
You found him, Laura. You found our guy.
I did, and he was not quite what I was expecting. He was this kind of average-looking 40-year-old guy with a wife and 2 kids and a really beautiful, comfortable home. You wrote for a yachting magazine?
I did write for a yachting magazine. Sure did, yeah.
You like yachts?
I don't care for yachts, no, but they hired me as a travel writer, and the pay was good, so.
That was part of his real news career. The fake part didn't start until 2013.
And that's the part we really wanted to know about. Why did he write fake news, and how did he get away with it for so long? Justin says he was always interested in the art of propaganda. You know, what would people believe? How do you exploit that? And he says he started Disinfo Media at first just for fun, just to test out his idea. And I do have to say, when he talks about the specific fake news stories he's written, you can hear the glee he has in basically screwing with everyone's head.
One of my personal favorites was a story that I wrote about a pot shop, a marijuana shop in Colorado.
Justin wrote a news story about how customers in Colorado marijuana shops were using food stamps to buy pot.
And it sounds ridiculous, of course.
But it got picked up and it spread like crazy. Here's Fox News.
Can people collecting food stamps in Colorado add marijuana to their shopping lists? Right now, the answer is yes.
So that one I got a decent chuckle out of myself. I thought that was a good time.
He does sound like a prankster. I mean, he clearly delights in getting a rise out of people. I'm just going to stop occasionally here in the podcast to say that Justin is an admitted liar.
And despite saying he's in it for fun, at some point, fake news clearly became a moneymaker for Justin. You get people to share a fake news article, he can sell all these eyeballs to advertisers, and his fake news sites do have real ads. He was a fake news businessman, and he figured out the best way to deliver his product.
Step 1, make it look real. He bought domain names like WashingtonPost.com.co and USAToday.com.co. Some were so fake that they sounded real, like the Denver Guardian.
You know, kind of the idea was to make the sites look as legit as possible, right? So the homepage, of course, is going to be local news, a local forecast, local sports. The actual fake news stories were going to be buried off the homepage. So, you know, if you were reading a story and then you click to the homepage, you'd be like, oh, this looks like Denver Guardian or, any number of sites.
Justin couldn't actually keep up with the demand, so step 2, he found a lot of former writers, just like himself, willing to write fake news.
There's probably 20 to 25 contributors.
Step 3 to profiting off of fake news, the arrival of Donald J. Trump.
I mean, my gosh, the number of just fake accounts on Facebook exploded during the Trump election.
And this brings us to the article we have been tracking this whole time, the one about the FBI agent who was killed after his alleged involvement in leaking Clinton emails. Justin did not write it. Doesn't know the real name of the contributor who did, but he did publish it, and he says it got 1.6 million views over 10 days.
The people wanted to hear this, so all it took was to write that story. Everything about it was fictional, the town, the people, the sheriff, the FBI guy. And then, had our social media guys kind of go out and do a little dropping it throughout Trump groups and Trump forums, and boy, it spread like wildfire.
The story was quickly debunked on sites like Snopes.com and the real paper in Denver, the Denver Post. But for lots of Trump supporters, this did not matter.
Well, in some ways, Justin did prove his point. You can prank people pretty easily. You can make money off of it. You can degrade the truth. You can make everything worthless. You can do all of these things. The thing is, it ends up being serious business because Hillary Clinton did lose the election. And some people think fake news was a contributing factor to this.
Since the election, there's been a lot of hand-wringing in news organizations, including ours, about how to stop people like Justin, how to stop this stuff from being spread around, or at least some way to label it and target news as fake before everyone reads it, before everyone believes it. But after hearing Justin, I cannot imagine that is going to work. Like, there is a demand for this product. People want conspiracy. Like, people want fake news that confirms what they already believe. And we know from history what happens when you try to outlaw a product that everyone wants. It's impossible. Laura, it occurs to me that there has never been a better time to be in the fake news business. I mean, after all, this election showed that there are hundreds of thousands of people who will view these articles and that the articles work. From Justin's perspective, there is money to be made. We're always interested in dark corners of the internet that we don't know about. So if you see any other wrongdoing out there, give us an email, planetmoney@npr.org. Or you can find us on Facebook or Twitter.